stratosphere. I feel a change in the atmosphere. I hear the calling and it's crystal clear. Time to disengage, to disappear. The jury's out and the reports are in. I crunched the numbers and they fell thin. The range of danger for a foreign mind, a foreign body falling out of time. The crowd goes, my phone goes, the whole world goes, but you go. My car goes, the time goes, the whole world goes, but you go. The crowd goes, my phone goes, the whole world goes, but you go. My car goes, the time goes, the whole world goes, but you go. The crowd goes, phone goes, 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 crowd goes, crowd goes, phone goes, phone goes, phone
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice! I love this crowd, it's fantastic. I love Poland, it's fantastic here. We have another semi-final on the way. We are running a little bit late, so we apologise for that. We also apologise, we've had a few issues on the stream, which we're hoping are now fixed, so you can enjoy this second semi-final. The players are already in their positions, but don't forget there's also a competition for the MVP vote, which is now going on facebook.com/IEM. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for the two semi-finalists, Azubu Frost and Gambit Gaming. Okay, we're not going to keep you waiting any longer whatsoever. Let's go over to Jason and Panky at the experts desk.
Hopefully another exciting best of three here. Azubu Frost versus Gambit Gaming. We saw day one, Gambit Gaming, they didn't look that good, unfortunately. They squeaked by through time, actually going to be qualified for the playoffs. And then Azubu Frost, another Azubu that went 3-0 in the group.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's expecting an Azubu final, as we mentioned right at the start of the day. That was everyone's prediction. As soon as we saw the groups, they were like, all right, Korean final, Azubu. That's now down to Gambit to change. They are the last hope for a non-all-Korean final. They are a very strong team, or they were a very strong team. Friday, not so much. Hopefully they can turn it around. We'd love to see them there in the final. If they do turn it around, it's going to be a very, very interesting task because Frost are huge.
All right, we're going to get the player sheet on the screen for you guys of Azubu Frost, just to show you their lineup. We have Shy going to be in the top lane for them. Rapid Star going to be in the mid lane. Cloud, wow, I said that wrong. Cloud Templar in the jungle. Woong on AD carry and Mad Life as a support. And Panky, who so far has been the key player for the team, and who do you think is going to be the key player in this best of three?
It's going to depend on the champions. It's going to depend on how they build their comms, blah, blah, blah. But Woong had some phenomenal plays earlier on in his tournament. Some of his misfortune plays, his double up usage was incredible. The ultimates and stuff he's getting to him, hunting people down, really, really helped them out. That all being said, Cloud, Templar, Rapid Star, very, very strong players. Depending on who they play, they can also influence the flow of a game really, really well.
Of course, you still have Mad Life, amazing blitzcrank player as we saw at OGN.
The Tarek play on that lane as well, that was incredible the way he flashed in that last auto attack just to secure that first blood. Really set that lane snowballing too. So yeah, very, very powerful.
All right, well, Gambit Gaming, let's get their player sheet on the screen for you guys so you can see their lineup. It's no longer Moscow 5. We have Alexich in the mid lane, Genja going to be on the AD carry, Edward, formerly Gosu Pepper, going to be as support, Darren in the top lane, and Diamond Fox in the jungle. Now, I'm trying to ask for a key player for their team, but it just kind of, no one really shined through in the group stage for them.
No, they were all slightly underwhelming, to be completely honest, in the group. That's what we said. They lost that first game very one-sidedly to Azubu Blaze, and they picked, I mean, they had a strong comp. They had a Mumu, Misfortune, Chaos, right. Renekton. The Renekton, we said at the start, was a bit not so sure.
Well, he lost early game,
convinced, yeah,
and then it snowballed against him.
He's an early game champion, and then he lost the early game. But the rest of their comp's still very strong. They just couldn't quite get it in there. There was a lot of chances when they landed that Mumu ultimate, landed the Misfortune ultimate, missed the Sonar, or they couldn't quite get that last little bit going. It just kind of fell apart bit by bit, but we're into Champions League. We'll see if they go with it again. If they do get that comp now, they've had a day to practice, they've had a day to relax, a day to research plays a bit. With any luck, they might be a little bit stronger, a little bit more relaxed and calm. I know, but we mentioned yesterday, Haikibot taking his shoes off when they were playing the SK vs Fnatic game. Gosu Pepper, Edward now does the same thing. It's all about.
I'm hoping that's the only thing he has off right now. Might be a little awkward if he has to stand up. But hopefully we'll get back into the picks events. I mean, yeah, Gambit, they did have a day break. They had time to, actually practice. Well, actually, when we were trying to get into the games yesterday, we saw Curse and Gambit actually practicing against each other. So maybe Gambit going to be showing a stronger team here. As we do finally get back into the picks and bans, Lee Sin as the first ban coming out of Azubu Frost, going to be your blue team here. And obviously that will be targeted at Diamond Prox.
And a very quick Olaf ban as well coming out from Gambit.
Actually, very quick bans.
Yeah, so they know exactly what they want to do, taking away from this Korean side. Olaf, we've said it over and over again at the moment, but he is very strong in our current game. In this season 3 patch, the 1.7.3 that we have here, build a couple of Giants, built that really cost-effective item, and he starts to get more and more powerful. Ban their Misfortune as well to destroy that comp, and in reverse, Azubu have banned down that KO, taking it away from Alexich, because we know he's been playing that a lot in the mid lane. And after the last 2 days, we saw lots of Evelyn bans. We never saw her played at all. Well, now Raz has hit 3 games in a row.
Well, we've seen Blaze and OGN ban Evelyn against Frost just to prevent Rapid Star from playing him in the mid lane. So Gambit might have messed up a little bit there, but we'll see how it all kind of pans out, as we do have Kha'Zix being locked in right away. Gambit wants to give him another try in, well, potentially the the mid lane, even the top lane, obviously not sure just yet.
I think it could be the mid lane. Alex has been playing Kazakh a lot in there. It was a very quick lock-in from him. It's like determined it's there. He does quite well against Evelyn too. Of course, that very strong push. So if she roams, he's going to get it onto the tower. She's going to lose a lot of gold experience. He's going to start to chunk away the health on that mid turret. They're both melee champions. They can both farm fairly well in that early game in the lane. He is very strong before she hits 6-2, and he's going to be able to bully her around a little bit.
Keep in mind, Azubu Frost shy. I mean, we have Singe, we have Jax open. As you just saw, Darren kind of hover over Jax for a second. Looks like he want to bait him into that pick, but obviously we haven't seen it too much lately in Season 3. We do have a Mumu being sat on. I mean, Frost, they've been playing against that Curse to the Side Bolt time for weeks now in OGN. I mean, obviously they have strats against it. Ooh, we could see actually a Nocturne coming out of Cloud Templar as they do switch it around to Rengar, but I mean, we already have a strong AoE out of Evelyn. If this Mumu does get locked in, what else do you expect to see?
They've got a lot of other options. The Sona would be there, that would be very nice too. And if you've got Evelyn and Rengar now leaping through the team fight while they're both locked up in Sona ult and Mumu ult, that can be very powerful. But he's also now hovering on Graves. He was there very briefly on Nocturne, which we saw Katie Rolls to be actually running the mid lane not so long ago at OGN. That's something that's new, and a couple of people are trying. We're yet to really see any of the European teams try it. So if there was something they thought about running, they could still pick it later on, could still throw Gambit off guard if they're not ready for it. But Diamond, very quick looking on that Xin Zhao, something which we saw him play earlier on in the tournament, something that actually, back when they were Moscow 5, they did long before anyone else. Xin Zhao obviously recently went through a rework, so
oh my gosh, we're seeing Blitzcrank, sorry, being sat on by Mad Life, and it does get locked in. We're going to see some amazing pulls this game.
But we saw like Diamond Prox was playing Xin Zhao before they reworked him. Then they reworked him and he played him again, played him very similarly. But it also now, it wasn't just that he worked how he played him before, he worked him with some new builds now, and now with Back Cleaver getting stronger and things too, there's a lot more options to do with that Xin. He's a very strong early game jungler, can really start to set the pace of a game, and if you combine that up with Kazakh's early strength, they can bully shy quite a bit in that mid lane.
Yep, and we do have last pick for Azubu Frost here, going to be locked in very shortly. It looks like they might even play a Zed, which, I mean, is kind of appearing everywhere in the world now. Everyone really enjoying him in the top lane, even the jungle, to be honest. We've seen him a couple of times. And, I mean, we have kind of a pseudo-squishy team for Frost. I mean, it's very misleading. You have the Mumu. I mean, we saw in the last couple of games, the Mumu had a really hard time of getting tanky enough from Fnatic. We do get Singe locked in, so we will have Shy in that top lane on his famous Singe, playing against SK, who I believe it was in the World Finals, and just decimating them.
Yeah, like, he almost single-handedly destroyed it. That was Shy's show in that game. As we pointed out yesterday when we were talking with SK, he put no points in his slow, it was all in his fling, all in his poison, so much damage. He was up past the tier 3 turret within like 12 minutes or something crazy. Just doing all kinds of things and controlling that game. It's in here, Mad Life's on his Blitzcrank. There's a lot of champions in there which Azubu know and love. Gambit playing brave, giving it to them, and looking to go towards their Renekton again too. But as I said, the same thing, they've got a lot of champions they love. That old Gosu Pepper, now Edward's Sona, was something that he used to be famous for because he used to steal kills and he used to do a lot of damage on it. He used to be incredibly aggressive in that lane. He used to be 2v1ing people on that Sona as well. I mean, we've seen him 2v1 people down on Blitzcrank, do the same on Sona. Diamond Prox again, that's Xin Zhao, something which he is very known and used to. Alex has been playing a lot of Kazakh's mid at the moment, and it does look like Darren is keeping that Renekton.
Yeah, he's going to go for a round 2 on this Renekton in the top lane. See if he does a little bit better this time, other than last time, as we do have just switching around the champions right now. And, you know, looking at the game, early game to late game, who do you think really has it?
I want to give the early game to Gambit. They've got that Kazakh, they've got that Renekton, they've got that Xin Zhao. But at the same time, Azubu are very good at playing safe. Lots of early wardings. We saw it from Blaze as well. And just the Korean style, that lots of wards in the early levels. So first 3 minutes, the river is completely covered, the jungle is completely covered, and you're not really getting any kind of impact from that early game presence of Diamond Prox or from Renekton. So providing they can survive that, providing they can make the most of those wards and Gambit fall prey to them and don't avoid them, then Azubu should get that chance to build up, farm up, get that a little bit stronger, and then they're going to start to control these team fights later on.
And one thing that Frost does also in their favor, we can't really not talk about this, is you have a pull from Blitzcrank and then you have a fling right after that. So if you ever get pulled, you're going to be completely out of position, and with the Graves attacking you, with the amount of burst he has, the amount of just flat damage he has, you're going to have a tough time surviving that. As we do finally get into the loading screen, I'm going to have to give it, I don't know, just with the way Gambit's been playing, I want to see them, you know, do well. I want to see a 3-game series here, but Frost, they just look so solid yesterday.
Yeah, Frost, I mean, that's the Korean team's all over. We've said it time and time again. Their execution, their teamwork, their communication, it's just perfect. We saw Blaze methodically dismantling Fnatic in the 2 games they won. They said, all right, we're going to take all the turrets now. All the outer turrets just dropped. Okay, we're going to push and take the next ones now. And they slowly just went from lane to lane, taking turret after turret onto the inhibitor turrets. Switched on one, switched on the next one. Slowly just took everything apart methodically, carefully, and didn't risk with any crazy dives.
Well, guys, we are in a game, so we're going to pass you to our casters, Joe, Demon, and Jat.
Go, ladies and gentlemen, it's Azubu Frost this time around versus Gambit Gaming, aka Moscow 5. Everybody knows them from that one, but they have changed organizations. Azubu Frost, they picked up pretty much their perfect team there, I believe. Blitzcrank Madlife is a scary thing to behold. 4 times he played it against the Azubu Blaze, won every single game. Cloud Templar, Goon Woong, of course, on Graves. These are all champions they are so used to. Rapid start on Evelyn. Gambit Gaming, though, they've got Kha'Zix in that mid lane. Alex Ich, we know how deadly that guy can be. See hero, kill hero was the famous line from the Intel Extreme Masters in Kiev. But on your screens, it is the blue team of Azubu Frost. And can they prevent an all-Korean final? Gambit Gaming as the red side.
Well, here we go, Azubu working their way through into that top side of the Gambit jungle. Putting a couple of wards down there. They were spotted by that ward. You can just see the Q there of Ezreal landing on towards Madlife. Early pink ward actually put down by Edward, aka Gosu Pepper, to take away the ward that was just placed by Azubu on that top side. But it looks like we're going to be seeing a fairly standard start either way.
Yeah, definitely setting themselves out fairly standard, but it does look like we are going to have the single lane of Darien down the bottom. I'm pretty much sure he's going to be up against the duo lane of Woong and Madlife. That's going to be a tricky one for him to hold out, so we do see Edward and Genja heading north against that Singed. Singed, as they mentioned in the pre-game, just the fact that he was just so strong against SK Gaming on Singed.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Shy can survive against this 2-man lane. Normally, this is the response against Singed. He did manage to deal with it in the few games he's played Singed at Season 2 finals, but this is a tough matchup with heavy poke coming up from both Sona and Ezreal.
Down in that bottom lane, obviously Renekton got to be careful here not to be picked out by Madlife, who's through the OGN had ridiculous scores even on these Blitzcrank, and he's been so amazing with it, and now there's definitely going to see some great pulls out of him here for this one as well. So lanes kind of settling themselves in here. Obviously middle lane going to be Kha'Zix versus Evelyn. Dean, what do you think to that one?
Well, it's definitely going to be a close one. Kha'Zix, of course, Alex Ich, we've seen him in fantastic on Championship, but rapid start on Evelyn. You know, there's a reason that Evelyn is banned in the Korean games all the time, and they are just so strong on it. The question is, though, Kha'Zix can be strong early levels, and that is exactly where I expect to see him trying to bully on towards Evelyn. That bottom lane, we saw Madlife scouting out, Shy's being pushed in the top. There was a lot of zoning. We do have Cloud Templar sat ready and waiting, but Diamond Prox is also coming around the side.
This could be very dangerous. Cloud Templar is waiting in that try, but she can't see him just yet. He's not come around through that fog of war. They're waiting for Singed to make his move. Cloud Templar sticking to his position here. Diamond Prox now gonna come around into that tri-bush. Will get spotted as they go in on towards Edward. He's flung underneath the tower. There's the ignite. First blood coming down for Cloud Templar.
And they can't finish it off either. They do keep the pressure on. Cloud Templar did come in. Brilliant play from Azubu. They reacted so well.
I'm pretty sure that Amumu saw Xin Zhao coming by from that brush. That's why they were so ready to do the stun to fling combo the instant Edward picked up tower aggro. So a disastrous attempted 3v1 dive on Shy.
Alex Ich getting aggressive on Rapid Star in that mid lane. It's going to be very much a back and forth. Very hard for the cameraman to keep up on that one as well, especially with these duo lanes versus the solo queues. There's going to be a lot of damage across the board. Alex Ich keeping up the farm though alongside him. 16 to 18 Rapid Star. This seems to be, to me, the pivotal lane.
Yeah, going to be a very interesting one to say the least. And Rapid, so you can see, really starting to sting there, Alex, but he's going to have the same going forward as he levels up that W. Let's see then where the next action is going to come down. Madlife just forcing Darien completely out of that lane there. Darien knows that he can't go too deep into that one. I wonder if we'll see Amumu actually coming around to try a similar thing onto this bottom lane, which is what we generally see when it comes to a 2 versus 1 lane. We saw it time and time again IPL. We've seen it this tournament even going wrong as well.
And if this backfires, they are both at level 4. You can see as Cloud Templar coming around the side there. He's going to get a bit of poke. Misses the bandage, does actually. Tries to juke it out now. Now he's in trouble himself there again. Just putting the pressure back onto him, using the glue to get defensive, and has to flash out. Fling actually from Shy almost towards Cloud Templar. That could have been tragic.
That could have been a little bit of a dodgy move there, as Cloud Templar would have said, yeah, thanks, mate. That's very nice of you to do that one. But we are going to see here Sinchow coming around the backside. What can they do? Obviously, he's got that red buff on. We see the exhaust go down. Madlife forced to flash away. We're going to turn around here and do some good damage onto Darian. He's going to get knocked up here in the air by Madlife. Oh, and he flashes just out of range from the pull.
Very close stuff with that flash. That big fist from the Piltover Madlife was just an inch away, and unfortunately he did manage to get away.
Darian actually managed to take out a fresh ward in that brush by doing an auto attack reset with his W, which was really cool. And it's strange to me that Darian plays so much Renekton. I was mentioning this earlier, but especially in a 2v1 lane where he's going to be denied most of his farm, you really want to get something that will scale up later with levels. And Renekton, unless he gets monstrous, doesn't really take over games, but we consistently see Darian pick this champion.
Well, if you remember back the interviews that Moscow 5 had, as and when they were Moscow 5, they always said, if Darian doesn't feed, we might do all right. But if he does, we just leave him alone.
Yeah, and that can't be the case in this one. I mean, up till now, fingers crossed from Gambit's side of things, he's not doing half bad in that bottom lane. Yeah, they are going to switch it around. Actually, we see that Renekton going into the middle lane.
Why did Darian go for the middle one there instead of the 40 gold minion? Instead, he went for the 16 gold caster minion instead. What?
I think we call that a mistake.
Maybe. Maybe he just forgot that gold was definitely changed in Season 3. Nevertheless, we do have now Alex Ich down in that bottom lane against Woong and Madlife. So level 4 versus level 5 Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix going to avoid the damage here, just jumps away. That was very close, that grab actually, from pulling him straight back. Interesting to see. Meanwhile, at the top lane, we also see Genja getting very aggressive. We do have Darian heading back down the bottom, but he's going to walk straight past that ward.
Yeah, straight in through that ward, no problem whatsoever for Azubu Frost in that one. And it looks like we're going to see another switch over here.
Yeah, they're just trying to react, trying to keep Azubu Frost on their toes, it seems, but Alex has got to be careful he doesn't get caught out going up through that blue instead. And while Cloud Templar reacting to this, the blue has just spawned. Cloud Templar's going to come around, he's going to spot him straight away, puts the voice bite straight into his face for Cloud Templar. There we go, Azubu 4-man invade into the blue.
Trying to deny as much as they possibly can here from Gambit Gaming. That blue buff is going to be picked up here by Rapid Star, which is only going to make him more annoying in that jungle. Over on the other side, we see that Gambit going down towards the Azubu Frost blue as well.
They're hoping they're going to be able to steal that one. It was a little delayed in the way it came up, and Shy doing a hell of a job trying to harass down Genja. I wonder if they're going to stop this from going in as Alex gets flashed over the wall.
Meanwhile, you can see at the top lane, they've just got in towards Shy. Shy's going to get taken down by Diamond Prox. He comes around the side there. We also have Alex Ich coming up now. The blue buff has respawned, and here comes Alex Ich going to try and steal it. One of his own. Cloud Templar is ready and waiting. He has got Smite available. They put the ward down. That's going to force him away. This is going to get picked up by Alex Ich.
Nice pickup in response to losing their own blue buff, and not to mention that kill coming down on that top lane, which went over towards Diamond. They're going to set up a 2-man trap here once again in that tri-bush, but in the end they decide, well, let's just have a go, see if we can take down the turret here.
I think they're going to go for the early pressure. They know they have Shy a little bit on his heels. They're going to try to keep him down, and I want to go bottom lane actually, pointing out Madlife rushing boots on Blitzcrank. That really makes his pulls that much more threatening, because he's basically just going to run at the target to try to punch them off and get closer and closer, which makes his hooks easier to land. It's one of the reasons he's so good on Blitzcrank.
And if you remember back when to the Season 2 finals, we discussed Madlife back then, talking about how he has written down the exact speed and length with boots, with certain levels, exactly how much he can get in there to grab onto those units and just pull a hero in there. You know, Madlife, he tends to land those grabs. He wins all the games when he plays Blitzcrank. It's a simple fact. And when you're doing that against the Azubu Blaze, it's something they definitely have to watch out for. Alex Ich farming up in that mid lane. Definitely behind in the farm though against Rapid Star. Meanwhile, the two solo laners, despite the fact they've been 1v2, is being won out by Shy. He's having a better look on the bottom. Also, Goon Woong heading against Genja. And he's winning out. So all the lines currently are head in CS.
Now we're just Shy doing typical Singe fashion, taking the minions completely away. meaning that tower faces then a lot of pressure. Actually going to head down through that Gambit jungle. Will he head towards mid lane? No, looks like he's just going to come back in towards his top lane. Does have level advantage over Darian as well there, and he's just simply going to scoot on by.
Just going to do a little drive-by there, lay the poison down towards the turret, try and get as much on towards Darian, but he's quite happily just last hitting on the minions. As I say that, he gets flicked straight away and misses a minion, manages to get back on towards them. Shy's going to wipe out that wave pretty quickly. Cloud Templar in the mid lane, meanwhile, is getting ready. How's his diamond procs?
And I gotta say, Shy has an amazing amount of confidence up top here. He doesn't have a turret to fall back into, so if anyone collapses up for him, he's got a mile to run before he would get to safety. But with all that, Gambit Gaming is just not in position to punish, so he's free to farm that wave in between the turret.
We've got a pink ward being put down there by the Dragon as well. Ping's actually going down on the Azubu Frost side of things. Diamond Procs here headed up towards that river, will be spotted by the ward in that one. So once we get Evelyn back into this middle lane, it's going to know that Diamond Procs is around there. In fact, they're going to try and lay down some pressure on the tower.
Yeah, they're going to put a lot of damage down here as well. But no, they're going to back off. Rapid Star was a distance away from that one. They could, like you mentioned, go straight towards Shy in that top lane. He's continued to try and farm it out up there. Has gone back to buy. Let's see what he picks up. It's a Giant's Belt. Well, of course it is. What else would you get?
Directly a Warmogs. But who knows where he's going to end up going with that one in a little while. But in terms of the CS now in this bottom lane, 96 to 88. So getting around about that 10 CS lead as another grab comes out there. Genja actually used his arcane shift to get away and didn't end up getting pulled in the end from that one. So looking at the gold, very, very even still, only around about 100 to 150, I'd say, the way it's ticking over difference.
You can see the pink ward that Gambit Gaming has on Dragon, and in the recent past, when they've been struggling a bit, it's because they throw away games at Dragon fights. They either go for Dragon too early or try to stop the other team from taking it, and with that pink ward there, I'm actually expecting them to go for it very shortly. And if they did, it would be very dangerous against a team like Azubu, having the Amumu and Evelyn ults up the whole time and yet to be used.
Well, you can see Alex coming round in towards it. He's going to go, oh, Rapid Star steals away the large wraith there. This is known for cleaning out that wave, but everybody does it these days. He started off, Darian, meanwhile, you can see the health on him. He's starting to drop down because Shy is just motoring away, and they're just going to leave him. I think he's got the ultimate running. He's going to go towards Darian here. Darian already low. He's going to get around there with the poison running, but Darian is dicing away. He's going to get the fling back on him. Forces the flash. Now he gets the glue down. Darian is going to get caught out. Has to use his ultimate. He's got diamond procs coming in towards to help him out. Meanwhile, down in the mid lane, Alex has been completely pincer moved by Cloud Templar and Rapid Star. They're back on towards Shy, but Shy is going to get away. Diamond procs will get the knockup, but no, they cannot pursue this because Alex got took down in that jungle.
And that is the beauty of Cinch right there, just able to run rings around your opponents. They've managed to even bait Alex Itch from that middle lane up towards the top, and therefore caught him in the jungle to bring themselves 2-1 ahead in the kills.
Rapid Star also coming up towards the tower. They could try and dive him here. They've got the ability. There goes Diamond Procs. He's going to get caught down. He will get the knockup. He's got the ignite down on him. Rapid Star is taking a lot of hits from that tower. He's going to get taken down very low. Nobody's there to follow it up, though. And unfortunately for them, if they'd just returned in time, as Cloud Templar stole away the blue buff, he didn't manage to get it, and Azubu plays start.